Hello. So I'm going to do a quick video to go through over this chess piece which we started, just in case anyone needed a bit of a refresher on it. So I'm going to assume that you've opened up Maya from scratch. So first of all, we need to do the project window, which is basically creating the folders where everything will be saved. So to do that, we go to File, Project Window. Currently I'm working on a different project here, so I need to make a new one. So I'm going to click New. I'm going to go into this folder. So it basically says where it's going to go. I'm going to go to Documents. I'm going to go to Maya. I'm going to go to Projects, and I'm going to make it here. So I want a new folder to arrive here. So I'm just going to click Select Folder, and I'm going to name it Chess. Click Accept. And now what I'm going to do is find that folder again. By the way, when you're doing all this, trying to look through stuff, if you just type, if I want P for projects, if I just type P, it will navigate to that area. It's pretty handy actually. Right, I'm just going into this chess folder that it's just made. I'm going to go into source images. I'm going to right click and I'm just going to paste in the wrong thing. Well, that's good, isn't it? Bear with me. Copy that. Paste it in my source images. Okie dokie. So let's go into the front view. So I'll just press spacebar. I'm going to go into the front. I'm going to click on this, which is image plane, and it's going to look in the source images folder and find the chess reference, which is there. I'm going to click on that and click open. That seems absolutely fine to me. And we shall lock it by going to, so hopefully you can see this on the side here, Channelbox Layer Editor. I've got this selected. I'm going to click on this one, which is create a new layer and assign selected objects. So I've got that object selected, click on there, and it's now on layer 1. So if I turn it on and off by pressing V for visibility, it toggles on and off. Double click it, I'm going to call it ref, do it in red, click save, and then I'm going to keep clicking that until it goes R. R means reference, so it means you can't really select it. Right, let's get going. So we want to make a cylinder. First of all, I'm going to get rid of this grid. I don't really want it on, it's just going to get confusing. I'm going to double click on a cylinder, and it's probably remembered it from last time. So if that happens and you don't want it to remember it, you can go on to edit and reset settings, and that'll set everything here to default. But I'm pretty sure this is right because I wanted 20 divisions on it. So I'm going to click create, and this is what I've got. I'm going to click on it in object mode. I'm going to press W for the move tool and move it down to the bottom. Now I can't see through this at the moment, so let's put it on X-ray like that. Now we can see through it. Press F to focus in, and I'm going to go into vertex mode. So hold down right mouse button, go to vertex. I'm going to drag over all of these. Now remember, if you don't drag, if I just selected these ones that I could see, so let's say I could see all these. I'm just going to click on them. Click, 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 click. You think you've got it all, but it's only got half the image there. Actually, I need to move that image plane back a little bit. And thanks to someone in the class, you can do it from there, which is pretty handy, isn't it? Okay, so vertex, right click vertex. I'm going to drag a box, move these down to here, and I'll show you the two different ways we're using to extrude this upwards. So the first way is we were going into face mode, and I'm going to come into the perspective view. I'm going to hold down, well, I'm just going to press the tab key, hold it down, sorry. Make sure you do this in the select mode, which is Q. Remember, Q just selects stuff. If I've got W or R or E or anything like that, I can still click on stuff, but this thing gets in the way. So it's always good practice just to leave it off. So I'm holding down Tab, and that'll allow me to paint them. And that's basically selected that top thing. Just be very careful when you're painting and selecting that you don't select anything around the back. So this is just a case of extruding upwards and adding edge loops to change the direction of it. So usually when I extrude, I do Control E to extrude, like that, and then you can drag this up, and it gives you a lot more options here. It's a little bit cumbersome doing it like this for what we want to do here, so I'm just going to cheat a little bit. So I'm just going to scale that inwards, and if you have a look in this view, well, in fact what we can do, we can move to 2 view, which is this one. So we've got the front view and perspective view. That'll be perfect. Always remember when you're scaling, I want to scale towards the center like that, right? Because that scales it in all directions. If I think, oh, it's going to be this one, which is, I think I did this when I started as well. Oh yeah, it looks fine in that view. But if you look in the perspective view, it's squashing it all. Right, so the quicker way of extruding is W, hold down Shift, drag upwards to extrude it. I'm going to do R, again, scale from the center, back to W, Shift, drag it, R, W, hold down Shift, drag it, then R, R, extrude it. We'll do another one here. So you need to think of this sort of, almost think of it as sort of detail level. If you need a rapid change in direction, you need enough resolution to be able to do that. Okay, so that's one way of doing it, which is alright, but the way I'd probably do it is just extrude up to the top here, then press C for my multi-cut tool. If you've not set that up as a shortcut, you can come here and click on this one. If you hold down Control, you'll get a edge loop running horizontally if you've selected a vertical edge like that. If you select a horizontal edge, you'll get a vertical one. I'm going to middle mouse click, so that's clicking down on the wheel, which will get these perfectly centered each time it divides it in two. So I'm just going to get a load of them here. And now what I can do is go into edge mode, double click. That's all I really need to do now is double click and scale. So when you double click, it will select the entire loop. I'm going to press F to focus so I can zoom in a little bit more. And I'll just work my way up here. Now again, when it comes to this overhang, for instance, we need more resolution here. We need a line to say that this is changing direction. So I've just put another one in using the edge loop tool. Sorry, the multi-cut, I suppose we call it. Press R, scale that out. Put another one in the center. Double click that, scale it out. Excuse me. Just going to move that up a little bit. I'm not extruding or anything like that. Just trying to shape it. Can you see? It doesn't quite have enough sort of resolution. So I'm going to halve that again and scale it out. And maybe even move it down just a tiny bit. So you see it's trying to follow this now. If you press 3 to smooth it, you'll sort of see what's coming out of it. So this line here is a little bit too wide yet. So I'm going to double click that, press R, drag that in, press 3 to... Yeah, that's not bad. I could add another one there if I wanted to, but I don't think we need to go crazy with it. I'll come back in a second when I've finished this bit. Okay, I've done that. Let's just see, that's 1 and that's 3. So this is no, that's not too bad actually. I want that to be quite smooth and round. If I wanted to tighten it up, I'd just add a loop above and below it. This bit here, you can see this is slipping a little bit. So that just needs a little bit more resolution as well. So 1 above and 1 below it. And that holds that really nice. So you can carry on ad infinitum and just get this sorted. Right, so we need to change this top now. We can go we can select these edges. So I'm in edge mode. Again, we can tab them like that. Control and delete. Now, we always control and delete edges, because this is the reason why. If I put this edge loop in here and I decide I don't want it, I can go in, double click it, press delete, and you think that's fine. But if we go into vertex now, can you see it's left all these little vertexes in its wake? Because sometimes you might need to use them, when you're rerouting stuff. So you can go in there and press delete and just delete them, which takes ages. An easier way is you can drag over the entire area and just press delete, and it'll delete only stuff that isn't attached to anything. Anything that's not structurally. This is important because it's where this edge meets this one and this one. The ones down here, they weren't doing anything. So yeah, whenever you're doing edges, deleting them, always do control and delete. Right, so we need to cut this to resemble the top of this, and this is sort of flat, almost like if you stuck a tile or something on top of it. So we need to sort of match that by redirecting this. So I'm going to use my multi-cut tool, and let's just check I'm all right. I'm going to go from here to here, here to here. I'm right clicking each time to commit. I'm going to go top to bottom. Now most of the time it will snap to that area and go, oh okay, you want to do it from there. When you've got loads of vertexes, it can snap to the wrong one. So what I tend to do sometimes is you can start on the line there, click it, and then just drag it, and it'll sort of lock it to that side. So depending on my mood, I'll do however. Right, I'm not getting very good at counting here. That to that. Right, so that's 1, 2. Oops, didn't mean to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a quad. This needs splitting because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So split that. This needs splitting as well because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we always need to make these quads as much as possible. Right, 4 there. All the rest of them are 4, so that's great. Right, now I always forget this. Face mode. Let's paint these again. I can still extrude it, it's just that it's a different pattern now on top. And I always forget to do this damn overhang. So press W, Shift, extrude it up, put an edge loop in there, and I'll probably edge, double click it, probably scale that in at the bottom and in at the top. Oh, okay, right, okay. Because this isn't in, because this is a sort of different geometry on top, I can't double click it and select everything. So I'm just going to select it this way. So I'm holding down Shift, clicking it, double clicking its neighbour, and allow it to run on. So now I can scale that in. Let's just smooth it. So we're losing a bit of definition there. So let's put one underneath and above, and we'll put one underneath there. See, that's holding a lot better. And I've not put one on top of it because we're still extruding this out. Righty. Okay, so face mode. I'm going to tab, select these ones. Oh, not that one. So that's pretty good. I want to scale this out a little bit. So I'm going to press R to scale it. This time I want to just scale it in the red direction so it gets wider. Because I just want that a little bit wider so it sort of lines up with where this comes out. I'll extrude this upwards. So hold down Shift, move, and just extruding it up to there. This needs to come out here, so this needs another edge loop. So I'm going to press C. Oh, I think you need to make sure you are in object mode first. C, hold down Control, middle mouse click to get it perfectly in the center. Double click the edge. Again, I want to stretch this one just out. So if I did it in the middle one, it would go out in all directions. But I literally just want to shift that out so it sort of matches up with there. And now I need to do this part, and then the cylinder on top is going to be a different shape. So let's sort out this top bit first. So go into face mode, again, paint these. We're doing the same thing over and over again. W, oh, right, see that? I'd selected that by accident, so I have to be very careful. The only way I knew that is because that pivot moved because it had that selected as well, so the pivot finds like the middle point between the two bits. Right, let's drag that up. Now we need a fair bit of width coming out, so we want to select these two and scale them out or extrude them out. So I'm going to get those two. This time I will use the extrude tool. Control E, and now I can just mess around with the thickness and have that come out. Now it moves very, very quickly, sometimes depending on the size of the object. So I'm going to hold down Control, and that should slow it down a little bit. And I'm just getting that right in that top view. So it's getting there. Let us just stay in here now. Right, I'll just pause that to look at my notes. I'm going to make a cylinder, and what is it? 10, 10, 20, 1, 2. So 10, 10, 20, 1, 2, and it is in Z. Create that. Yeah, I thought 20 was a bit big, so I'm just scaling that on that global scale again. So we need to match this type of shape, so we're actually going to scale it by squashing it a bit like that to make it more oval. And again, just scale it down globally. Let's get it into place. Again, near as damn it. We don't need to follow that, we need to follow it so it's in the middle of this lot. I'm going to check my view because it's probably too wide, which it is. Press R, let's scale it and squash it in this direction. So we need to, that's one of the things you'll do 100 million times. You press the Windows key instead of Alt. So we need to stitch these together. At the moment, this is a different shape. I can tell that because if I go into object mode, drag over them, they're in different colors. If it's the same mesh sharing the same DNA, they'll all be green. So I want to connect this at 4 parts. So I'm going to use my multi-cut tool. I'm going to cut it there and there, and this is going to be the bottom here. So because of it's obviously a 3-dimensional object, so it's cut at the front there, but now I need to come around the back and do the exact same thing. So let's come over here and just do the same there and there, right click to commit. I'm going to do this in the front view. I'm going to go into face mode, drag over these faces I don't want, and because I've dragged over them, it's selected those bottom ones as well. So you sort of have to be careful of that. It's just going to, wherever it runs over any face, no matter what the direction, it's going to go, right, I'm going to select that. So now I've got a hole in the bottom of that, and we need to make a hole with 1, 2, 3, 4 divisions here. So I'm going to go into face, hold down tab, and we've got the 4 divisions there. This has got a split down the middle, so this needs a split down the middle. So I've just put a edge loop in. Well, let's move it into place. Object mode, move. Let's sit it down there. And as we can, right, can you see this view? It's not really very helpful because I can only see the wireframe at one at a time. So if I use this one here, it will put them both on. Right, so these are way too wide at the moment. So let's see if I double, in fact, let's see. Okay, right, so I've double clicked this edge loop and it's bringing it round in a circle. So if I now scale this circle in, don't know what, it's not a circle, it's a square, isn't it? But if I drag this in, everything else is going to follow suit, it's all connected. See that? So that's not too bad really. Move this in place a bit better. Like that. And I'm probably want to move just the tops of these edges inwards a bit. So what I can do is I'll go into vertex mode, select him and him, 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 press R, scale those in a bit more towards the center. If I'd done that in edge mode, when I scaled it, it would have scaled the whole lot in. Now, maybe that wouldn't make a massive bit of difference, but suppose it's just a way of showing you all the different techniques. So like I said, we've got two different objects. Can we see the history here? Got loads of history. So let's get rid of that history by deleting it. Same on here, nowhere near as much. But because we're going to sew this together, that's sort of a fairly major thing to do. So we don't want anything messing up. Right, so drag over both of them. We're going to go to Mesh, Combine. See, now they're now sharing DNA. So the only thing we need to do really is sew these all together, and there are a few different ways of doing it, but we're just going to merge them at the moment. So I'm going to go into vertex mode. I'm going to select the edges, I'm going to select the vertices, whatever they're called, that I want to merge, and I know that they're all there. So I can take a quick look around. Yeah, that's all the stuff I want to merge. I'm going to merge them by clicking on this tool, which is obviously called merge, or I can go edit mesh. I think, yeah, edit mesh merge. Click on that, and it's going to say, okay, I'm going to look X amount of distance from this vertex, and if I see another one, I'm going to weld it. If I want that to go over a much greater distance, I can drag that, and so it's, I can really destroy this model because it's going to look for a further and further area and just keep vacuuming these up. So you need to get to the point where you feel confident that everything's been stitched together, but then it's not taking too much. That looks pretty good to me. I'm going to click off it. I'm going to right click object mode. I'm just going to delete the history on that just again. I'm going to press 3. Right, we can tell that that's merged perfectly because all these lines follow a nice beautiful pattern. If it wasn't, they'd have some weird loops and all sorts. Right, so we've done pretty well with this. The only thing we need to do now is just sharpen up some of this stuff. So in order to sharpen this up, if it was a regular object, you could just stick edge loops coming down here. But if I do it here, like say I want to sharpen up this corner, I'll put a friend there and a friend there. Yeah, that sharpens that really nicely. But look what happens down here. It runs all the way down here. And if we were to give this a really glossy texture, so I'm just going to very quickly put a texture on this. Oh, got a lot of history on that. Darken it up. You may get pinch points. Yeah, if we turn off this, yeah, can you see that? We've got a horrible crease running down it. So whenever you're dealing with spheres, right, you can really see that. You need to have even topology going round. This has buggered that up. So let's just step backwards until we're back to where we were. So because we can't really run edge loops like an idiot everywhere, we need to bevel this instead. This is going to be a bit of a pain because we've got so many edges to bevel. But when you're beveling, just think of the edges that contribute to the silhouette of the model. So these are all edges that are facing the sky, if you know what I mean. So these are not, although they're they do help the shape, they're not purely structural. It's funny, it'll take a bit of trial and error to sort of work out which are which. I suppose it's like, I don't know, spray painting edges, or I don't know, make it up. So I need all of these. I suppose I'll show you which ones are left at the end and you should get an idea. So these are all edges, oop, not that one, that make up the shape. Clickety clickety click. Right, let me just check. Oop, that one needs doing. So yeah, that's all good. That's all good. That is. The only thing we need is this circle. So we can select this whole loop. So I'm going to hold down shift, click this one, double click its friend. And can you see it's zoomed all the way to the end? It's meeting up with that edge now. Again with this, hold down shift, click it, double click its friend. So now we do Control and B to bevel, like this. First things first, always stick it at 2 segments. because that will create the original line and two friends. Always turn chamfer off because I told you. Now the only problem we may get is, can you see this is making a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-sided shape? So there's a few things you can do. This is messed up a little bit as well. That's making a 7-sided shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-sided shape. You can mess around with the mitering. So this is just how it handles the corners. So that works a bit better here. So although it looks like a triangle, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that might work. What about here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that does tend to work. It just throws up some really strange shapes. 1, 2. Oh, that's, yeah. There's a triangle there. Okay, so sometimes it's doing the bevel. Let's just check around here. In fact, let's see if we can preview it in 3. It's not too bad. We probably need some more topology. Let's try a different type. Let's try patch. No, because that's making more n-gons. This one's a big n-gon now. Radial. Yeah, not bad. You're going to have to reroute an awful lot of this. But I suppose I can show you how to do that. Right, I'm going to do it on uniform, I think. I think that was one of the least worries. Yeah, you can see that's holding. See how tight that is? That's holding really well. This just looks a bit dodgy, and I think that's because we don't have enough edge loops to sort of contain this shape to stop it from going a bit crazy. Let's just check this part out at the top. It's not bad really. Bit messy there. Okay, we'll keep that. I'm going to go into object mode. Just going to clear the history again. I'll go back into 1. And let's just put, right, let's do like a halfway line. We'll just put a line there and a line there. Just to sort of, those are sort of supporting edges. Ah, right, can you see how that smooths now? Hell of a lot better. So, for the sake of it, for the sake of the chess piece, I would say that's done. Oh, jeez. Let's do a bonus session. Let's just put on copper, and we'll stick on a light. Let's just see what this looks like. So, are we in 3 or are we in 1? Can you see? It'll update. See in 3, in 1. Look how faceted that is. So that really looks like a proper old school CGI thing. You know, where it's like low poly. Press 3 and it smooths it all. I mean, it looks quite cool in the low poly, to be honest. But there we go. We've got an object which smooths pretty predictably. So we've got these really nice sharp edges. I mean, look at that little bevel there, it captures the light. And then we've got these beautiful soft ones as well. So I reckon we're about done. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Shut up.